Welcome back, friends, to Blender Homestead. If you have not been here before, I'm Sonia. I would love to welcome all the new people and welcome back all the people who have already been here. So today is Friday. Today's agenda is to condition my 2 rolling pins, my wooden cutting board, and a gluten-free recipe. So after I condition these, we're going to get into this gluten-free Twinkie recipe. I am going to actually make gluten-free coconut flavored Twinkies. I bought this Twinkie machine about 5 years ago, thinking, oh, I could so totally make Twinkies so much cheaper than what you can buy in the stores. And I found some gluten-free Twinkies on Amazon. If I can find it, I will post it here. And they were small. They were very small, maybe 2 bites, and that was it. That was it. And at the time, I think they were around $1 a Twinkie. And they had this odd, I don't know, I can't even describe the flavor. It had this odd aftertaste, and I didn't care for it. I ate 2 of those Twinkies and I threw the rest of them away. And I thought, that's it. I'm done. I can't have Twinkies, you know, or anything like that, any of the Hostess stuff anymore. And so I came across this sponge cake recipe, and I made gluten-free, and I made them into these little bundt cakes, and they were so good. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I have that Twinkie maker, but I couldn't find it. We had moved from our previous home, which is where I bought it, and it was brand new in the box at a secondhand store. Threw away the box, and I just kept the machine and the piping bag and the instructions, which I have somewhere. I don't know where they're at. They're somewhere. Anyways, we moved here, and as some of you know, backstory of this place. When we were finally able to move into this kitchen, I stuffed it in that back corner, and there it's at for 4 years. And last week, we were moving everything out of here into the new kitchen. Now, the new kitchen is not ready, which is why I'm still here. I found that Twinkie maker, and I thought, oh my goodness, I can make gluten-free Twinkies. Oh, I have the recipe. Now I have the machine. Now I have a piping bag. I have everything. So today's agenda is going to be coconut flavored gluten-free Twinkies. Now, the reason why they're coconut flavored is because I have no more vanilla extract. I am completely out, and I can't go shopping until next Friday. So I got a week to go. And I love coconut, and I have coconut flakes, so I can do a filling that has like crushed down coconut flakes. I have a feeling this is going to taste amazing. So if you are interested in this recipe video, stay tuned. All right, so I have a reusable paper towel, my butcher block conditioner that I bought at Home Depot. You can also make it with beeswax and some coconut oil. This actually is food grade mineral oils and natural waxes. So now we're just going to wipe it on. Now make sure that your wood is completely dry. So if you've cleaned your cutting board, let it air dry for at least 48 hours before you start doing this. And then you'll leave this alone to soak completely in. I will do the other side once this is dry. But let's move on to the rolling pin. I do the handles, the ends. That rolling pin is done. Let's do this one. I might need just a touch more wax or conditioner. Not much. I love this one because look, it's got this little knot in it. Do the ends and the handle. Same for this side. And we are done conditioning these. Now I gotta do the cutting board on the other side, but that's for another day. Let's get on to making the gluten-free Twinkies. All right, so I got my recipe. We're going to make a half a batch. This is what I'm gonna do, is a half a batch. So what I'm gonna do is, in my mixing bowl with a paddle attachment, I'm gonna place my 2 egg yolks. All right, get the rest of my egg yolk in there. I'm actually doing 6 tablespoons. And now I'm going to beat this until it's pale yellow. So I have 44 grams of my gluten-free flour. And if you want to know what kind I'm using, this is the gluten-free flour I'm using. Also want to add a tablespoon of cornstarch. I am out of cornstarch, so I'm using potato starch, and you want a quarter. Well, I want 1 tablespoon actually. I'm not really measuring. Now you're going to beat it until it's well combined. Because I'm doing so little, I got to scrape it down. If you do a full batch, and I'll leave the recipe for you guys to do a full batch. So you can see it's like Play-Doh now. And now we're going to put this into a little bowl and do the egg whites and the cream of tartar. All right, so I cleaned out my bowl and my spatula. So we are making the egg white with the cream of tartar. So here's my egg white. I need, looking to see where I need I need 1/4 teaspoon of my cream of tartar. Or you can use lemon juice if you don't have cream of tartar. And I need to grab my whisk attachment. I have tried to make it without a whisk attachment. It doesn't work that well. So make sure you have a whisk attachment. Now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar because I have soft peaks and I want to now go to a stiff peak that is glossy. And now I'm going to add the egg yolk mixture in. For me, it's always a little bit stiffer than what the recipe says it is, but it works. Sometimes I add a little bit of extra liquid into it, usually some water. Just depends on what it looks like. I want it pourable. All right, so it's not 100% mixed in, but I'll give you a show. This is what it looks like. And now I'm going to fold in the rest of the egg whites in. We're going to pour this into our Twinkie maker. So while we wait for this to heat up, it's almost ready. Let's make the filling. So I took 8 ounces of cream cheese. I'm going to put, now this is all made up in my head. I'll try to put a recipe down. I'm going to start with 1/8 of a cup of powdered sugar. I might add more. I think I will. Not quite 3/4. A little bit of salt. Now I forgot to put salt in the batter. I did add it later. I'm going to put a couple of pinches of salt. A little bit of my sweetened coconut flakes. And I'd say add to your heart's content. I want to say it's just about ready. Woo. Yes, I think it is ready. So, I won't make very many of these. I think I need to go get my scoop. Got my cookie scoop. You don't want to fill them up all the way. Let me show you what the inside looks like. It looks like little Twinkies. I probably could have done a full-size batch, but again, I'm just testing this out. This is a sponge cake recipe I absolutely love. I tweaked it, found it online, and I didn't like the original, so I tweaked it a little bit. And I love it. Although now I got Twinkie on the outside. Technically, they said in the original recipe that a full amount makes a 9-inch cake, but I don't think so. I think it's a 9-inch cake that's probably 2 inches thick. I liked the idea, but the recipe was a little off. So now I'm going to lock that down, and we will make this. I'm going to add a little bit of milk because I want it pipeable, and a little bit of coconut. Not much. Most of that ended up on my counter. All right. Now, because I'm using cream cheese and milk, I need to keep these in the refrigerator. Almost. I'm going to say they're almost done. And I filled them a little full. That's okay. We can't fill them until they're nice and cool, so I have plenty of time to stir this. Smoking. So I overfilled those just a little bit. Should go get my thermometer. All right, guys, grab my thermometer. Should pick one that's kind of on the big side. Looking for 195. 195. We're good. So I'm going to use my little silicone scooper. This is hard to get out, guys. There's one. I think I probably should have sprayed this. You're probably yelling at me, you should have sprayed it, you should have sprayed it. I'm hearing you now. But this is a test. If they come out good, I will prep this the proper way. Then I should be able to just like flip them right on out. This one I can't stuff, but I'm going to try to taste it before they're cool. And I'm going to make sure I don't overfill it. It's the first time I'm using this, guys. All right. Here's the one that's not big enough to fill. But I can do this. I can cheat. Let's give it a taste. Oh, I need to move one. I need to move you up. Hold on. All right, let's give it a taste. Oh, yeah. These 4 little Twinkies aren't going to last long. I'm going to fill them, and I'm going to eat them. For sure, if you do not have a Twinkie maker, you need to get one. And you need to use this recipe. It's phenomenal. So I need to wait for my Twinkies to cool, and then we're going to fill them. All right, so I have my piping bag. Going to put some of this wonderful filling. Oh, it's so good. This is so much better than a Twinkie. Even if you didn't use a gluten-free recipe and use this filling recipe, oh my gosh. Flip it up. I don't have a lot of Twinkies, so I'm not putting a lot of filling in here. I'm hoping, there we go. All right, so here's my first little Twinkie. You poke a hole in it, and you go back and forth, and then you squeeze your filling in, poke a hole and go back and forth, and then squeeze until you get, I think I got it, there we go. Poke a hole, go back and forth, and squeeze. Because I put the coconut in there, it's kind of harder to squeeze. And the cream cheese. But there we go, it's a Twinkie. Let's break it open. And you have cream filling in it. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming along while I made these Twinkies, and they got pretty beat up, but I figured out how I'm supposed to get these out. I'm supposed to treat the inside of it, and then you're supposed to turn it upside down. You're supposed to turn it upside down when it's cool, and the Twinkies pop out of the bottom. But I didn't treat it, so the Twinkies didn't fall out. But these are not as sweet as the store-bought Twinkies. I gave my husband a taste, and he was like, they're nice. They're just not as sweet as a Twinkie. Well, because they didn't add as much sugar. They put high fructose corn syrup. They put, you know, sugar, lots of sugar in it. And my recipe doesn't have like a third of the sugar. If you want it sweeter, add more sugar in and it'll be just fine. And I would say on the yellow, because this makes really good like sponge cake for like when you're making a little bundt cake because you want them firm. If you want these more spongy, when you do the egg yolk part, you need to add a little bit of water so that it's more fluid and not such a thick paste. It's more fluid, and that way you'll get a bigger, fluffier, more like a Twinkie kind of texture. So if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and that way you'll get notified each time I upload one of these recipes. Springtime is coming. I have lots of recipes. I also do juice recipes, and I also do blender recipes like protein shakes. More of like a, you know, it's a hot day and I want something cold kind of drink. I have several already on my Facebook page, and I do have a few here on my YouTube channel. If you're interested in those, I will have more as the weather gets warmer. It is gorgeous outside, and my plants are absolutely loving the sunshine. So guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, but I've noticed some of you are not subscribers, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. It helps my channel out. And also, if you liked this video and you think somebody might enjoy this, go ahead and share it to them. I would totally appreciate that too. So until my next upload, bye.